Revealed, how a single dad CEO discovered an incredible story of a poor girl with only 5 on a lemonade dream. Luke had built a life many envied. A CEO at 38, he was stationed comfortably in San Francisco's bustling tech scene. But towering over his success was a quiet despair. Every sunset he watched over the bay flickered with dreams he used to chase, before life dropped its unwieldy weight on his shoulders. For all its lights and glamour, his world left little time for real connection, especially with his 10-year-old daughter, Mia. Her laughter was now a fading echo in the hallways of his high-rise office, and each moment stolen from her left a knot in his gut. Determined not to let his ambition drown out his fatherly duties, Luke volunteered at a local community center. Familiarizing himself with kids of various backgrounds, he hoped to find something meaningful. That's when he met Lily, a bright-eyed 12-year-old who exuded a fierce resilience. With only 5, the girl had a dream: selling homemade lemonade to support her family. Luke's heart tightened at the sight of her perseverance, the way her brows furrowed with determination. She spoke about her dream with the intensity of someone fighting for not just herself, but for her whole family. "Lily," he said one afternoon, "what if I help you get supplies?" A little spark of excitement danced in her eyes, but hesitation lingered. He was a man from 2 worlds apart. Could he really step in without overshadowing her voice? As they talked about her aspirations, Luke felt his own sense of privilege seep through the cracks of his polished corporate veneer. Here was this girl, brimming with hope, scrapping together her dreams with sheer grit while he had been fretting over quarterly reports. Every interaction drew him closer into her vibrant world, yet every laugh shared felt weighted with the looming pressures of his own life. Just when the community competition presented itself, a chance for Lily to shine, things unraveled. Luke, with genuine intentions, offered advice, steering her toward a plan that wasn't hers. His affluent peers, snickering behind their suits, raised eyebrows at his investment in this cheap lemonade operation. "What are you trying to prove, Luke?" Their glances shot his way, dripping with judgment. The deadline loomed, and Lily's eyes held a flicker of fear. In the frantic days building up to the big event, they both knew they were at a vital crossroads. Could they reconcile their dreams? In the echo of their building frustrations, hope flickered like that same sunset he cherished. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the day of the competition approached, vulnerability chafed painfully against his corporate armor. How could he stand before his peers if he committed to a girl's dream? He felt lost, yet fueled by the very hope she brought into his life. Their bond was unraveling, but perhaps inside that chaos lay the true nature of success. At the precipice of revelation, with hearts racing and dreams hanging in the balance, Luke faced the ultimate question: could helping her truly elevate her voice, or would it drown out everything she fought for? The atmosphere thickened, electricity crackling in the air as they grappled with the shadows of their respective worlds. Would they elude the pitfalls of expectations and truly emerge victorious together? Luke took a deep breath, the taste of uncertainty heavy on his tongue. What would happen if he stepped back? What if he let her lead? As the day of the competition loomed, his mind spiraled. Each passing moment felt like a countdown to impending dread. Lily was so much more than a girl with a lemonade stand. She was a beacon of resilience in a world full of barriers that seemed insurmountable. The day she had described her dream, Luke saw in her a reflection of himself from years ago, naive, determined, unencumbered by the weight of expectations. He wished to shield her from the doubts of the world, but in doing so, was he taking away her voice? "Luke, I don't know if I'm ready." Her voice trembled when they met at the park the evening before the competition. The lemonade stand they had built together sparkled under the dimming sun, but her bright eyes clouded with anxiety. "Why?" he asked, searching her face for the spark that had ignited his passion for helping her. You've worked so hard for this. Because what if people laugh? What if it doesn't work? Her small hands clutched nervously at the edge of the makeshift table. The fear of failing wrapped around her tightly, tightening her chest like a vice. But what if it does work? Luke's heart raced. You're strong. You've got this. He felt a wave of nostalgia sweep over him. Her fight was his too, in a way. There are so many people with better ideas, better resources. What can I even do? The words poured out like a dam breaking, churning with doubt and self-judgment. Luke placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. It's not about them. It's about you and your story. You have something they don't, the courage to try. As he spoke, he realized he wasn't just encouraging her. He was reminding himself. I just wished my mom could have come. Her voice faded into a whisper. That was the raw truth beneath her ambition. She was not just fighting for her dreams but was also carrying the weight of her family's struggles on her slender shoulders. Your mom is proud of you. And you know what? She's right here with us. Look at how far you've come, he said, his words threading through the air with shaky conviction. You're not alone in this. As dusk settled in, he could see a flicker of determination returning to her gaze. It was a small decision but felt monumental. Okay, she said, though uncertainty still lingered in her voice like a gust of wind before a storm. Let's give it a shot. That night, he lay awake, the world outside his window pulsating with life while his heart was tangled in knots. He had risked so much by following Lily's journey, stepping into a role he had hardly prepared for as a father and mentor. How could he guide her without imposing himself? The line felt thin, and doubt clawed at his resolve. The next morning dawned bright and promising. The air buzzed with anticipation as children and families began to gather for the competition. Luke felt that familiar weight on his shoulders, the familiar faces of his peers sharpening their judgment, and yet there was also laughter, hope, and energy. The sight of Lily adjusting her apron, pulling her hair back, was electrifying. Are you ready? He asked, knots in his stomach twisting again with every passing second. Ready as I can be. In that moment, with the sun gleaming off their lemonade stand, Luke realized their stories were intertwined, and it was pure magic. He had come to help Lily chase her dreams, but what if he needed her dreams just as much to rediscover his? As the crowd grew denser, excitement hummed in the air. They were standing on the precipice of something monumental, but could they navigate the surging tides of hope and pressure? The answer lay just a heartbeat away. The crowd swelled in front of them, laughter and chatter mixing with the sweet aroma of lemonade. Luke looked around, feeling both exhilarated and nervous. So many faces, each one a reminder of the stakes, people who might either uplift or tear down the tiny stand they had built together. Every moment felt electric, a palpable tension in the air. Let's get to work, Luke said, trying to inject some calm into his racing thoughts. Lily nodded, a small spark of confidence flickering in her eyes. She grabbed a jug and filled it with the freshly made lemonade, her movements gaining a little more assurance with each step. Smile. Remember, we're here to have fun. Luke called out, hoping to ease her nerves. The first group of customers approached, a cluster of lively kids tugging at their parents' hands with wide eyes. Can we get some lemonade? One girl shouted excitedly, her cheeks flushed with anticipation. Absolutely. Lily replied, her voice brightening as she poured the lemonade into cups, her earlier doubt fading with each interaction. Luke felt a swell of pride as he watched her. This was more than just a stand, it was a glimpse of who she could become. As they filled each cup, he couldn't help but overhear snippets of conversation from the crowd. Some buzzed about their stand, while others debated their favorite flavors. Have you tasted that lemonade? It's amazing. One woman exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. With every customer that passed, Lily beamed wider. The initial shyness seemed to dissolve as she engaged with everyone, sharing stories and jokes. Luke joined in, taking orders and clapping his hands to draw attention. Together, They were an unstoppable duo, and the energy pulsed between them like an electrifying current. Minutes passed like heartbeats, transforming into an hour. The stand was thriving, and Lily's laughter rang out as she celebrated small victories, every compliment a victory lap around her worries. It was intoxicating. "I can't believe this," she said, disbelief flooding her voice after a particularly big order. "Look at how many people want our lemonade." "See?" Luke replied, grinning widely. "Told you could do this." But as the high from their success coursed through him, he sensed a shift in the air. The crowd began to thicken, rival stands popping up nearby. Luke's stomach twisted slightly at the thought of competition. Would their humble little lemonade stand be enough against the flashy, professional booths that loomed ominously around them? Just then, a sleek stand set up beside them caught Lily's eye. It boasted fancy banners and neon signs, a stark contrast to their modest setup. A chill crept up Luke's spine as he saw the professional team preparing elaborate drinks, the kind that seemed crafted by expert hands. "Do you think we can compete with them?" Lily asked, her earlier confidence wavering as she glanced at the competition. Luke felt his heart sink slightly. He opened his mouth to reassure her, but found the words choking him. What if they weren't enough? But he also saw the flicker of fire in her eyes, reminding himself of her determination. "Sometimes, it's not about the show, it's about the heart," he finally said, recalling her drive, her dreams. "Remember, we've got something they don't." "You." Lily nodded, the glimmer of resolve returning. The competition was heating up, but so was their bond, not just as a mentor and mentee, but something deeper. As they continued to serve, the two became a rhythm. But just when things seemed to be clicking into place, an unexpected challenge arose that could threaten it all. Luke's breath quickened. What if this moment could make or break everything they had worked for? Tomorrow's competition was only the beginning, and the question loomed in the air: could they weather the storm about to hit them? The sun dipped closer to the horizon, casting a warm glow over the festival. Luke's heart raced as the first rays of tension settled in. Tomorrow was the big day, the competition that could either make or break their dreams. They continued serving lemonade, but the laughter now felt forced. Luke stole a glance at the competing stand. Behind the vibrant banners, a group of pros moved with precision, their every action honed from work and experience. Doubts began to creep in like shadows. Could they really stand a chance? "Hey, Luke," Lily said softly, breaking his reverie. Her eyes sparkled with an ember of determination. "What's our secret sauce? Why should people choose us?" The question hit him square in the chest. He wanted to give her a brilliant answer, something that would make the competition melt away, but his mind raced through the very real challenges they faced. "Honestly," he replied, his voice steadying. "We have heart. And yours shines through." He pointed to her, grounding them both in this moment. Lily grinned, as if flicking a switch in her mind. "Okay, let us show them what we've got." Behind them, the sun began to set, turning the sky into a magnificent canvas of purples and oranges. As the twilight crept in, so did a fresh wave of customers. The moment transformed their slight panic into electrifying energy. In the evening air, they saw a family approach, eyes scanning their modest stand. "Can we try some of your lemonade?" the mother asked, her enthusiasm palpable. "Of course," Lily replied, practically glowing as she filled the cups. Each pour was a splash of confidence, building upon her earlier fears. Luke couldn't help but admire her spirit. The duo worked in harmony, exchanging jokes and high-fives, ignoring the fierce competition beside them. They spun a simple festival into their world. But after a while, the other stand began to draw attention, and murmurs filled the crowd about special flavors and fancy toppings. Luke saw the excitement on people's faces as they gathered around the rival booth. A pang of disappointment cut through him. "All good things come to those who wait," he said, trying to rally his thoughts and project optimism, but Lily's gaze turned back to the competition. "It's okay to feel scared, isn't it?" she whispered, almost defensively. Yeah, he admitted with a sigh. But fear can either paralyze you or propel you forward. Lily nodded, digesting his words. A newfound determination shone in her eyes as she faced the mountain before them. Let us stand out on our own. We can do this. With that, an idea struck Luke. What if we add something special? He looked at the lemons piled beside them, freshly picked from his aunt's garden. The scent wafted up, filled with possibilities. How about an offer a smile campaign? For every lemonade sold, we donate a cup to those in need. Lily's face lit up. I love that. It ties everything together, the fun, the community, and our heart. Suddenly, their spirits soared. As the last few customers formed a line, they prepared their new pitch. Luke took a deep breath, adrenaline coursing through him. All right, we need to make this happen, and we need that energy. They tapped into their friendship, the connection that had grown over long hours of work and nurturing dreams. Just when they were about to unveil their new idea, a voice cut through the air like a knife, loud and scornful. What a gimmick. Think your little stand can compete with the pros? Luke instantly recognized the competitor's smirk, sharp and merciless. Lily looked up and steadied herself, eyes blazing. Wait and see, but doubts flared within Luke. This could crush everything they had built. He locked eyes with Lily, and the intensity of the moment settled deep within him. Just then, the opening act for the festival began to play, an upbeat tune that called people back to the center of the festival. Luke squeezed Lily's hand. It was now or never. We're taking a risk, are you ready? She nodded, excitement sparking like fire, igniting a new resolve in her. As the crowd swayed to the music, they raised their voices, ready to stake their claim. If tomorrow was the competition, tonight would be their battle cry. Could a single act of kindness carry them through? The music pulsed like a heartbeat, driving the energy of the festival in vibrant waves. Luke and Lily stood side by side, cups in hand and hearts pounding. The moment felt electric and surreal, as if the entire world had folded in on itself just for them. Let us do it. Luke shouted, his voice rising above the cheerful chaos around them. With a shared glance, they leaped into action. Hey everyone! Lily called out, her voice ringing clear and bright. For every cup of lemonade you buy tonight, we're donating a cup to those in need. Cheers to refreshing sips and giving smiles. The crowd hesitated for just a second, surprised by the heartfelt pitch. Luke held his breath, watching their reactions like a hawk. And then, just like that, it started. People began to move closer, curiosity pulling them in. His heart soared with gratitude and hope. Lemonade. Cool and refreshing. Luke added, trying to match Lily's momentum. And every glass does good. Whispers erupted among the audience, their faces shifting from skepticism to intrigue. A couple of parents shifted their kids closer, sparkles of hope igniting in their eyes. Slowly but surely, they began stepping up to the stand. 2 cups, please. Exclaimed a youthful teen, pulling bills from her pocket. Coming right up. Lily beamed, pouring with a flourish that felt almost magical. They exchanged cups with customers like they were handing out wishes, smiles growing wider with each transaction. Luke felt the stress slip away, replaced by the warm glow of community connection, yet, amidst the smiles and laughter, doubt still crept in. The competitor's disdainful voice echoed in his head. A gimmick. Did they really have a chance, or was it all just a flashy distraction? Look over there. Lily suddenly shouted, pointing past the crowd. That's the lemonade stand we're up against. We can show them what real spirit is about. The crowd turned, some chuckling at the ridiculousness of the rival booth's flashy display. Lily seized that moment. Friends. Remember, positive change starts with all of us. Let us make a difference together. The crowd clapped, and it sent fresh energy coursing through them like wind beneath wings. Luke felt something awaken inside him. They weren't just up against the competition. They were building something real with people. He hustled to refill the cups while Lily engaged with more customers. Their rhythm became a surprising dance, each pour and smile a quiet rebellion against fear. People cheered, and with every glass they handed over, self-doubt began to melt away, but just as the crowd swelled, a chilling chill swept through him. He glanced at the other stand. The competition was watching closely, their smirks not just aimed at them but at the entire idea behind their mission. Can you believe those two think they can make a difference? One of the rival competitors scoffed, enough for Luke to hear. The word struck him hard, yet as Lily kept pouring and laughing, a flame ignited. He turned back to her, his pulse quickening for a different reason now. Lily, this isn't just about lemonade anymore, is it? Not at all, she replied, her gaze fierce. It's about flipping the script. It's about heart and truth. With vigor, they dove deeper into their message. They were small, yes, but their dreams were vast. A woman approached, her eyes glistening with gratitude. I love this idea. We need to support each other, she said, taking 2 cups. Exactly. Luke replied, feeling joy twist with excitement in his chest. Tomorrow's competition isn't just ours. It belongs to the community. Lily and Luke exchanged a knowing look. This moment was bigger than a contest. It was about connection and change, about uniting their dreams with everyone who came to support them. As the night deepened and the festival glowed under twinkling lights, Luke felt a wave of resolve crash over him. They were on the precipice of something crucial, but would it be enough to carry them through tomorrow's showdown? Luke's breath caught as he spotted the rival competitors heading toward them, eyes narrowed and ready for verbal battle. He felt a rush of adrenaline. Let's face them together, he said to Lily, grounding his nerves in her steady presence. Always, she replied, her voice filled with fierce conviction. The moment of truth was coming, and they would have to fight not just for lemonade, but for their very dreams. Would they rise to the challenge, or fall under the pressure? As the rival competitors approached, Luke noticed the confidence in their stride, the cocky smirks plastered across their faces. It felt like a challenge on display, and his palms grew sweaty around the chilled cup he held. Lily stood tall beside him, her chin raised as if she were a warrior preparing for battle. What do you think you're doing? One of the opponents sneered, his arms folded tightly across his chest. Selling lemonade is one thing, but giving it away? You're just playing dress up. Luke stole a glance at Lily. Should they defend their mission? Or simply let their actions speak louder than words? Lily spoke first, her voice calm yet full of fire. Every cup we sell helps someone in need. It's about more than profit. Right. Luke chimed in, feeling the rush of momentum build. We're here to show that kindness can fuel change. Imagine the difference we can make together. The competitors exchanged skeptical glances, but Luke's heart raced. It was more than competition now. It was hope. The nearby festival goers glanced their way, some nodding in agreement, others still unsure. Do you really believe that nonsense? One rival shot back. What? You think your little lemonade stand can save the world? Not the world, Luke replied, heat creeping into his voice. Just our corner of it. We want to lift up our community one cup at a time. He held his breath, preparing for the backlash. Instead, he was met with a murmured response from those watching. They weren't just spectators. They were participants. Just wait until tomorrow, the competitor scoffed, but his tone was less certain now. There was a flicker of hesitation mixed with their bravado. Let them scoff, Lily whispered to Luke. She leaned in closer, her eyes alive with purpose. Tomorrow's not about them. It's about us. It's about what we stand for. Luke nodded, an exhilarating adrenaline pulsing through him. He could feel the crowd's energy shift. They weren't just customers anymore. They were allies in a shared mission, a movement sparked by small gestures of giving. Remember, every cup of lemonade is a handshake of hope, Lily shouted, her voice cutting through the air with determination. The onlookers began clapping, laughter blending with the music, voices rising in solidarity. There was power in vulnerability, and in that moment, they weren't just Luke and Lily at a festival, they were changemakers rising against the tide of doubt. Yeah. Someone shouted from the crowd. Buy lemonade, do good. A rush of warmth flared within Luke. Words alone weren't enough, the genuine connection they had ignited among people felt monumental. Traces of fear and anxiety began to dissolve, replaced by a nascent confidence. As the opposing team retreated, the laughter and cheers around them swelled. Uncertainty began to fade in the face of authentic belief. Together, Lily said softly, locking eyes with him again, we can flip this thing on its head. It's about our commitment to each other and everyone we're helping. Right, Luke breathed, adrenaline still coursing through him, but we need to prepare for tomorrow. They'll come back harder. Then let us prep together, she suggested, her confidence contagious as they started planning their strategy. They needed to strike while the iron was hot, building on the momentum they had created. The lanterns above twinkled like stars as the night wore on. It felt like magic, a bond deeper than just competition. But lurking beneath the joyous surface of the festival, an inner voice warned him the real battle was yet to come. Lily, he said as the laughter dimmed, suddenly aware that they were on the brink of a large and unknown challenge. What if we're not enough? Together, we are. She replied, and the conviction in her voice steadied him. As they stood side by side, plotting for the next big step, uncertainty hung between them like a taut wire. Would this community stand by them come dawn? Would their message penetrate beyond the noise? The stakes had risen higher than he could have imagined, and tomorrow, they would face it all head-on. Would they come out on top, or would the weight of expectations crash down around them? The sun rose slowly, casting golden rays across the festival grounds. Luke woke up early, his heart pounding in rhythm with the anticipation of the day ahead. The lemonade stand was no longer just a way to earn some summer cash, it was a vessel for change, for connection. He felt a mix of excitement and nerves as he glanced at his phone. Messages from friends and volunteers had flooded in overnight, offering support and assistance for the big day. Are you ready? Lily's voice broke through his thoughts as she stepped onto his porch, bright-eyed and ready for action. Her enthusiasm was infectious. More than ready, Luke smiled, gratitude swelling within him. It feels like we have an army behind us. As they made their way to the festival, the atmosphere buzzed with energy, brimming with possibility. The air smelled of popcorn and cotton candy, tempting aromas mixing with the fresh scent of grass. They arrived to find their spot already buzzing with people setting up booths. But a familiar sight caught Luke's attention, a swelling knot of competition forming at the rival stand. The same cocky smirks flashed back at him, igniting his determination once more. Stay focused, Lily reminded him, her eyes steady. We've got this. With wooden crates stacked high and a sign reading lemonade for a cause, they set up their stand. Luke and Lily worked in a rhythm, pouring lemonade, chatting with festival goers, and sharing their mission with each cup they handed out. Soon the line began to grow, the sounds of laughter and chatter washed over him like music. Every cup sold means another person we can help. Who's in? Luke called out to the crowd. Cheers erupted, and the energy surged as he saw heads nodding, people raising their hands, eager to join this wave of positive change. Lily's laughter echoed nearby as she engaged a young girl selling homemade bracelets. These are beautiful. How much are they? Just $5. The girl beamed. Luke's heart skipped. $5. That was the price of a single cup of lemonade. It hit him hard. This girl, like them, was young, hopeful, and trying to make a difference in her own way. It was a moment of reflection hammering home the parallels of struggle and ambition. He approached, kneeling to meet the girl's gaze. How about this? Luke suggested. If you help us sell lemonade today, we'll donate your bracelet money back to you for every cup sold. Her eyes widened. Really? You do that? Absolutely. Lily chimed in. Together we can do even more. The girl nodded vigorously, excitement bubbling over as she rummaged through her things to prepare. Luke felt a surge of emotion. This was what it was all about. Empowering others, showing that small actions could create incredible ripples in the community. With the sun climbing higher, the festival bustled around them, full of laughter and connection. But a shadow loomed. The competition was eyeing them, whispering as their crew began to rally. Luke could see their strategy unfolding. Stay sharp, Lily whispered, catching his distracted glance toward their rivals. They're not just here to play nice. Luke swallowed hard, knowing they needed to keep their momentum going regardless of the atmosphere. With his heart racing, he took a deep breath, rallying his thoughts. Let us use this energy. If we show everyone what we stand for, they can't help but support us, he declared, raising his arms to the crowd. The applause swelled, but a lingering sense of foreboding tugged at him. How much longer could their shared mission withstand the pressure? Together, right? Lily said, locking eyes with him, her unwavering belief igniting a fire within him. Together, he affirmed, but uncertainty clawed at his thoughts. Could the warmth of their movement turn cold in the face of challenge? As they continued working, the crowd surged with affection, but Luke could feel the tension rising. Tomorrow's outcome still hung in the balance, and with opposition lurking, there was no telling how far they could go. Just then, a voice called from the rival stand, unsettling and loud. You think you've got what it takes? We'll see about that. Luke's heart raced. The real competition was about to begin, but would they have enough strength to defy expectations and stand their ground? As the challenge unfolded, he grasped Lily's hand tightly, ready to face whatever came next. What would happen if they were pushed to their limit? Would they rise, or would they break? The vibrant sounds of the festival buzzed like a hive, but Luke's focus narrowed to the rival stand. An electric sense of rivalry crackled in the air, cutting through the laughter and music that surrounded them. He sensed eyes fixed on them, sizing them up. Luke, stay with me, Lily said, giving his hand a squeeze. We just need to keep our heads down and work hard. Nodding, Luke inhaled deeply, centering himself. Right. We just need to keep people coming back for more lemonade. He turned back to the growing crowd at their stand, summoning his best smile. Who's ready for some refreshing lemonade and a chance to make a difference? Cheers erupted, voices blending into a jubilant chorus. Cups filled quickly, the refreshing scent wafting through the stand, mixing with the sweetness of the festival. But every cheer felt laced with pressure, and Luke's heart rhythm drummed louder with each passing minute. Help each other out. Lily called to the young girl, who had just joined them, her hands full of colorful bracelets. Luke watched as she started talking to other children nearby, encouraging them to join in the fun. The sight made his heart swell, there was a spark of hope in their faces, and he felt gratitude for the spirit of collaboration their little project had birthed. Yet, from the corner of his eye, he noticed the rival stand. Their competitors were relentless, working in tandem, a well-oiled machine of strategy and aggression. Each time they served a customer, Luke could see the rivals throwing glances his way, confident smirks decorating their faces. It stung, igniting Luke's determination, reminding him of why they were there. Let us give it everything we've got, he said to Lily, their eyes locking in mutual resolve. His heart raced, the uncertainty of the competition pressing on him. Despite the rising stakes, underneath that pressure, there was a pulse of something beautiful, the thrill of togetherness, the belief in something bigger. They continued to serve dozens of smiling faces, cups clinking against coins, laughter ringing through the bright festival. Each moment of connection filled Luke with energy, overshadowing the rival chaos nearby. With every cup handed over, they created ripples, people discussing their cause, getting involved, feeling the camaraderie. Then came a sudden shout from the rival stand. You think you can outshine us? We're the best in town. Their laughter was sharp, mocking, echoing in the spaces between their competitive rallying cries. Luke felt a flame ignite within him. "Let us show them what we're made of," he said, rallying his small crew. "It's not just about lemonade. It's about hope, community, and change." A loud cheer rose in response, washing over him. He could see the young girl, her eyes sparkling with excitement, her hands full of bracelets. She waved them in the air, the colors bright against the backdrop of the festival. "Together," Luke called, raising the cup of lemonade high. In that moment, he saw it clearly, their mission transcended just selling drinks. They were building something real, a tapestry woven from countless small threads. As the crowd around them buzzed with renewed energy, Luke realized that each voice lifted in support stitched them closer together, forming a bond that could weather storms. But just as they gained momentum, a deep voice thundered from the rival stand, "Let us see how long you can keep this up. We're just getting started." Luke's stomach dropped. The challenge was no longer just about lemonade. It was a test of resilience, and already, doubts began to creep back in. How much longer could they maintain their energy, their spirit? He could feel fatigue tugging at his limbs, yet the fire within refused to die out. The day loomed before him, full of opportunities and shadows. "Stay strong," he whispered to himself, determination burning in his chest. Then, catching Lily's gaze, he felt a surge of assurance. They could build something meaningful together, but as the clouds gathered above, threatening rain, Luke's heart ached with uncertainty. Would the storm threaten to extinguish their flame? The festival was far from over, and the real battle had just begun. Would they shine bright against the gathering clouds, or would the weight of competition pull them down? The air thickened as dark clouds rolled in, casting a shadow over the colorful chaos of the festival. Luke could sense the tension rising around him not just from the rival stand, but also from the energy of the crowd. It felt like the world hung in the balance, tethered to a thread of hope that they all shared. "Lily, can you take over for a minute?" Luke said, wiping the sweat from his brow. "I need to think." "Of course. Just breathe, okay?" She replied, her voice warm, grounding him amid the whirlwind. Luke stepped away from the stand, heart racing. Each clap of thunder echoed like a drumbeat in his chest. He glanced back at their stand, where Lily was smiling brightly at the customers, a beacon of resilience. But then his gaze shifted to the rival team's booth, their smug expressions taunting him, wrapping around him like vines ready to squeeze the life out of his spirit. That he knew it was more than a contest of lemonade. People didn't come just for the drink, they came to support a cause. He thought of the young girl with the bracelets, her enthusiasm contagious, her innocence a reminder of why they were here. They weren't just selling lemonade, they were spreading possibility. Turning away from the rival's stand, Luke wandered deeper into the festival grounds. The scents of fried dough and popcorn drifted under his nose, but they did little to lift the weight off his shoulders. He needed to reconnect with his purpose. Then, he spotted a group of kids watching a magician. Their eyes were wide with delight, laughter spilling from their lips like music. In that moment, something in him stirred. It wasn't about the competition, it was about the community, the smiles, the joy, the togetherness in this vibrant space. What if we incorporated some fun? He thought, a flicker of inspiration igniting his mind. If they could create not just lemonade but an experience, they could offer joy that transcended the rivalry. After all, the festival was about more than just this stand or that one, it was a celebration of community. Steeling himself, Luke walked back to the stand, his resolve crystallizing. "We need to put on a show," he declared, gathering Lily and the young girl. "We'll juggle, we'll do a little dance, anything to pull people in. Let us give them a reason to stop by." The young girl's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I can do face painting," she chimed, her voice ringing with enthusiasm. Lily nodded, her face lighting up. "And I could get the music going, a little dancing might just draw in the crowd." Together, they sprang into action. Luke grabbed 2 lemons, juggling them in the air with a nervous grin, trying to shake off the fear clawing at his chest. Laughter erupted from the small gathering that began to form around them. Just then, the first drops of rain fell, gentle at first, soaking into the ground but not yet drenching the festival. But they didn't let that stop them. Instead, they began to dance in the rain, their spirits unbroken. As droplets splashed against their faces, the crowd joined in, laughing and twirling, caught up in the joy of the moment. It felt freeing, like a reminder that even a storm could wash away doubts if they only leaned into the fun. Suddenly, a loud crack of thunder struck, startling everyone. The rain intensified, pouring down in sheets. Gasps rippled through the crowd as people rushed for cover. "Lily! We need to pack up!" Luke shouted over the downpour, panic threatening to creep back in. But as he turned to see her, he noticed something unexpected. She was laughing, arms raised, spinning openly in the rain, the young girl right beside her. "Not yet!" she yelled, the joy in her voice chasing away the fear. "Let us keep going. This is our moment." Luke's heart swelled as he watched the carefree fun unfold. Just then, he caught sight of their rivals, scrambling to protect their stand from the downpour. With every passing second, the realization settled maybe the competition wasn't what mattered after all. The rain kept coming down, but he stood rooted in place, caught up in the exhilarating chaos. Perhaps this festival wasn't about winning, it was about the connections they made and the joy they shared, but as he held that thought, doubt crept back in. How long could they sustain this moment? Could their spirit shine even in the face of adversities like the weather, the crowd, and the competition? Luke's eyes darted to the rival stand just as their tent collapsed, scattering supplies everywhere. Would they seize this moment, or watch it slip away? The answer would unfold in the next breath as he took a step forward. As the rain poured down, the festival transformed into a scene of unexpected joy. Laughter rang through the air, mixing with the pounding rhythm of raindrops. Luke looked at Lily and the young girl, their faces lit with unfiltered bliss, dancing like nobody was watching. His heart swelled as he realized this was not merely about selling lemonade anymore, it was about creating a moment where everyone could join hands and shake off their troubles together. "We can't let the rain stop us!" Luke shouted, his voice barely breaking through the laughter and exhilaration. "Let us make the best of it." He joined them, pulling off his shoes and splashing barefoot through puddles. The laughter echoed, drawing in more onlookers, who couldn't help but smile at their spirit. Customers who once stood with skeptical glances now edged closer, drawn in by the infectious energy. "Who wants some lemonade?" Lily shouted, her arms wide open, inviting anyone who dropped by to partake in their fun. They filled cups, the rival stand struggled against the storm, their professionalism crumbling under the weight of uncertainty. Luke caught a glimpse of their faces, twisted in frustration, and it became clear this moment belonged not to the corporate machine but to the warmth of community, to the power of connection, to the courage of a poor girl and a single dad raising voices louder than any judgment could quench. "Let us double the offer," Luke suggested on the fly. "Every cup of lemonade sold still means donations go out, but for today, let us include a free snack for anyone who buys a cup." The idea flew through him, impulsive yet exciting. "Great idea!" Lily cheered, her brow glistening with raindrops. With renewed vigor, they worked faster, pouring lemonade and stacking cups for quick access. They poured extra smiles with every cup, and the delighted crowd started to chant, "Lemonade! Lemonade!" The energy was palpable. People began to dance with them, families tossed off their worries, and a few children even joined in with spontaneous cartwheels. The festival turned into a joyful carnival, rain or not, and then, right amidst the chaos, Luke felt a shift. It was as if the universe was affirming that they were doing things the right way. It didn't matter how the competition fared in those moments. Their genuine warmth and willingness to stand side by side with their community were brighter than any flashy marketing scheme could offer. As the rain continued, a group of parents approached, excitement in their voices. "How can we help? This is incredible," they asked, proffering bills and coins for lemonade as they quipped about the friendly competition. "We can use all the help we can get." Luke called out, the thrill surging through him like adrenaline. The small gestures of kindness multiplied rapidly. The heart of the community aligning behind their stand, cheering them on. "I feel this is gonna change everything," Lily exclaimed. Each person they handed lemonade to felt like a small victory surging back to them. And along with every joyous cup of lemonade shared, they began to forge a deeper connection to a collective understanding that no matter who sold more cups, they were part of the same team. As the festival continued, there were no clear winners or losers. Instead, there was unity, laughter, resilience, and yes, moments of heartache as the rain poured harder, barriers fell like the droplets, replaced by empathy and understanding. Children who had at first approached their stand in shyness were now crowded around, eager to help, eager to make a difference. As the sky began to clear, Luke spotted his rivals huddling under the remnants of their stand, looks of disbelief mixed with shame. Their extravagant displays had faltered, while Luke and Lily's charm radiated like sunlight breaking through clouds. "Don't look at them," Mia whispered, holding her hand firmly. "Look at what we created." They turned to face the joyful crowd, drenched but triumphant. Luke took a deep breath, inhaling the sweet scent of lemonade mixed with the fresh, crisp air. He finally understood, this was more than about dreams or competition, it was about family, community, and the collective power found in shared stories of perseverance. When the sun broke through completely, shimmering over the festival, Luke felt renewed. In that pure heartwarming moment of realization, he turned to Lily. "Tomorrow's the competition, but no matter what happens, we already won." A radiant smile bloomed on her face. "We'll keep winning together. No matter what." The crowd erupted in applause, and the familiar sound of laughter rang out. Luke's heart swelled. It was as if each person present had turned the simple act of selling cups of lemonade into something monumental. With that memory, stronger than he ever wanted to believe, Luke vowed to keep that spirit alive. Their dreams, a single dad and a poor girl, were intertwined, much like the community that surrounded them. Their stories would never fade. This was it. Friendship was strong, dreaming was bold, and their lives would weave a new tapestry moving forward. The sun shone brightly as visions of lemonade filled with heart poured forth. And with one final cheer, they embraced the beauty of a journey far more inspiring than any competition could ever dictate. Now it was time for the world to see the power of connection. Stand up, take action, and share this journey of transformation. You need to subscribe now to never miss out on these exclusive stories. Leave a like now, every click fuels this vision. Comment below your favorite moment and how it resonated with you. Share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see the power of dreams coming together. Every act of support matters. Don't wait not even one more second.